Hello guys and welcome back to Nat Scraps. My name is Natalie Peconic. I am a scrapbooker, crafter, paper crafter, do all those kind of things. If you've been to my channel before, welcome back. If it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. Today that I am working with the Vintage Chronicles Uniquely Creative papers. They are the May papers from Uniquely Creative. Now I know I do have quite a few people from America that follow me. These are available in stores in America, and if you do need a stockist over there, then please let me know. Here in Australia, I am stocking these now, and I'm making kits available to those that are local. So if you're interested, please let me know. These papers are so pretty. Now, I'm not a florally person. Those that book with me regularly know I am not a floral person, but I do love these papers. There's just something about them. They're really lovely. So today I'm going to create a double layout. This will be created so that my girls in my workshops can create them if they would like. And I'm starting off by just sort of sifting through those papers and having a really good look at them. So this is my first time delving into these papers, really. I'm very lucky. Uniquely Creative has allowed me to have the teachers packs so that I can create for workshops in advance. So I created these pages about 3 weeks ago. It was when I cut my finger. If you watch regularly, you'll know I've had my finger bandaged up. It's still bandaged up in this particular video, and I'm working with like 4 fingers on my left hand. So if you're wondering what that white stuff there is, I've taken the main bandages off, but I still have to keep it strapped and sort of held together a little bit. It's glued there in place. So I've sifted through the papers and I've kind of got a little bit of an idea of where I want to go with these. And then I'm going to delve into cutting, which is sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I find this the most scary bit is when you first get a new set of papers and you have to make those first few cuts, because if you kind of cut it wrong, and especially when you've got a pack that is in advance and you know you've got one pack to create your bits with, I get a bit of fear of cutting, but once I've cut, I'm fine. But I do start off with that little bit of a fear of cutting those first couple of papers. So my idea in my mind is to have a couple of pieces of lace sort of going either side of these strips, and I want another piece to go kind of next to that. So I'm kind of just thinking what piece is going to go nice next to that. So I'm sifting through, and I finally use, I think I use the other side of this one. Let's wait and see. We'll find out in a second anyway. Yeah, I think I'm sitting there at the moment trying to decide whether I'm going to do that yet. And I'm going to take off sort of enough that I've still got those roses sort of on the other end. So I'm kind of wanting to keep those. So I've got a little strip there, and it's making more sense probably what I'm talking about now, and another little strip there. And then I'm thinking lace panels shorter than the bigger strips on either side. Now I think in my end design these are kind of all covered pretty much, but they're there. Hey, I know they're underneath everything. I don't know about anybody else, but you see here I'm cutting one of those now, and then I'm going to come in with one of the other papers shortly. So I think I'll take off the kind of embellishment where the watch is there down that end and pop that one there. And I just wanted, that's why I was looking for something that would contrast a little bit with that for the strip behind. Now this one runs diagonally through the page, so it's a little bit harder to cut. So you'll see here in a second I'm going to bring in my T-square and a bladed knife, and I will cut that so I have sort of the lacy section and a little bit of the flowers. And I know I don't want it overly wide, but I do want that little bit of a lacy section there. So we're going to grab that piece out, and then we can put back the page that I moved and continue on, and then I can cut either end there, and you'll see I'll cut a little bit of those flowers away. And again, I'll cut it, I think it's about 10 inches, just a little bit shorter than the other pieces. Now when I've edited these photos, I don't know if you'll notice, but I do blend those so they pop a little bit more. but it's hard to tell, I think, because I speed up when I actually put the pages together later on in the end. Here, I'm just bringing in some photo placeholders. That's just going to allow me to know where I want my photos on the page. So I'm just trying to piece that out at the moment and decide what combination of photos and in what order I'd like them. So once I've got those there, I can start thinking about my embellishments and what embellishments I'm going to do. I've gone through my dies and I've cut the doily die I had from Close to My Heart, and I've cut that in white paper, and that's going to be the base for my embellishments on the page. And you can see that I've just popped them in there. Then I'm going through the cut apart sheet. So one of the fantastic things with the Uniquely Creative papers is you get 2 of each of the designs of papers, but you also get these creative cut sheets that have loads of different embellishments and bits and pieces on them that you can fussy cut out. It has got a solid pattern on the back, or a solid, not colour, but like a it's a printed paper on the back, but it's not actually a pattern. It's like a background paper, that one. And listen to me trip over every second word. And that is going to go down onto where am I? Now I've thrown myself for a real loop. I haven't done a voiceover for a couple of weeks, and every time I haven't done one for a while, I seem to just not be able to do it without tripping over my words. And I've tried to record this section a couple of times and failed, so I'm just going to keep going. So yeah, so the cut apart sheet, it has a different piece of paper on the back of it, or not even a bit. Guys, what am I doing? Stop that. Anyway, it's okay. Take a breath now. Let's keep going. And I'm chosen heaps of the cut out pieces there, and I'm just going to start layering them on the page. So there's a beautiful kind of windows, some little books, and there is also another page that has like loads of butterflies and flowers, and you'll see that dip in and out in a little while. Now I have tried to remove as much as I can of me just doing the fussy cutting, because it is as boring, and I'm sure you guys do not want to see me just fussy cut for hours on end. So hopefully most of that I have removed, and you can enjoy just the placement of the little bits and pieces. When I am fussy cutting, I tend to fussy cut quite close to my body, and I tend to be in the shadows off video when I do it. So you don't actually see it on the video most of the time. You just see shadows of my scissors and the paper moving, and don't really get to see me cutting. So yeah, not that anybody really wants to see fussy cutting going on for hours on end. You probably wouldn't see it anyway if I left it in, because most of it's not even on camera. It's a really bad habit I tend to do. I also tend to do it when I'm blending something, because if you are a blender, you'll know when you blend, sometimes little pieces of the foam will come off your blending tool and end up on your work. So I tend to pull my chair away from my table, and I tend to push myself so I'm sort of over dead space and not working as much over my layout, because there's nothing worse, especially if you're working on something that's really white and crisp, is to find that you've blended something and then you've got all these little flecks left over your layout. So I do tend to also pull away and do that. I'd love to know if you guys are the same, whether you do that, or whether you have the same problem as me, that you if you make videos, do you tend to find that there's things that you don't capture on video time and time again because you move away from your bench? Let me know in the comments. I'd really love to hear. So you can see there I've got quite a few little bits and pieces. I'm bringing in some flowers. You can just see off on the corner, you can see that I had that sheet of butterflies and flowers there. It's an absolutely gorgeous sheet of paper. You could fussy cut for hours on that piece. There's so many little elements that you could cut out. This, guys, is pretty much what I've got, and I am now going to just go and stick it. So I have just tacked all these pieces on. I haven't actually layered them up properly, and now I'm going to speed run through putting them on properly onto my page. So you'll see that I'm adding tape to some sections, and then when I come back in with the photos and the photo mats, and here's where I'm blending off screen like I was just talking about, when I add the photo mats and some of the embellishments, I alternate between adding them with foam tape or with tape, and go from there. Now, I haven't put photos on this page. If I'm creating something for a workshop for some of my girls, I don't tend to put photos on the page. I tend to let them decide what that page would be useful for. I've found many times if I've created something and I put photos, say, of my daughter's birthday, or if it's an outdoory kind of page and outdoors, people think they can only use that page for that particular celebration or photo kind. So I don't tend to put photos on those layouts, because I want people to look at it and go, I have these photos that would match that layout, not go, I don't have those kind of photos, so I can't do the layout. So if you see me creating pages that don't have photos on it, generally that will be because I'm creating them for the workshop environment, where I want people to choose what's going to go there. Here I'm just still popping all those embellishment backs. You will see I have to modify some of the areas where I'm going to put things. I do move a couple of these elements as I'm putting them back on. That's all just part of my process, and sometimes things that looked good flat on the page don't when you add a bit of foam tape onto the back or things like that. So I tend to want to make just little adjustments as I go along and putting the page together. And I do use a combination of double-sided tape, foam tape, and glue. So smaller embellishment pieces I like to pop on with glue. Larger pieces, sometimes I even use the tape runner. You'll see I've got the tape runner there as well. So I really do use a combination of things when I'm adding bits to my pages. Do you guys stick to one thing? Do you either put everything on with glue or everything on with tape? Or do you do something similar to me? I'd love to know. Here you'll find I've put that doily on, and then I go to put the embellishments on, and I don't know why I didn't notice previous to that, but then I cover the whole doily up. So in a moment you'll see that I'm going to kind of get in behind there and take a lot of that doily back out, and then move a couple of those elements so that I can have that doily show a bit more, because by the end you could hardly tell there was a doily there in the first place. At the very start I said most of those strips that I put on, that I cut, the lacy bits, are covered, and you can see here what I was meaning is that there is a lot, but they still do have a use in grounding those embellishment clusters and something to pop out from the edge of the page, so that there's a little bit of difference than just the paper that's flat there. So I've moved most of what I've got, and that is pretty much it, guys. I'm going to do a slow down here, and then there'll be a final photo. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you love it, and please leave a message, leave a comment, let me know if you do, and if you like this style of video, all those kind of things. If you like the pages, the papers, if you've got these papers, I know a lot of us my Australian watchers follow Uniquely Creative, so I'd love to know what you're doing with them. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for tuning in and watching all the way to the end. Have a wonderful day, guys, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.